Hello and welcome to the eTeamBRIT YouTube channel. In this video, Dom Lane, Sharp Sir as you see him here, will be taking on the Nords 90, a Triple G one-off endurance race. He's driving the Toyota, which is a nice fast car in a straight line. This is a multi-class race. There are Group 3s and Group 4s. Dom in the Group 3 category. It's a 90-minute race. This is just the highlights of it. You can see the cars weaving around, warming up the tyres. There was a free tyre choice for this, and it looks like Dom opted to start on race mediums. There's no kind of preset mandatory tyre usage, so he can chop and change as he sees fit. We're on the Nordschleife layout of the Nürburgring track. And it looks like there's no issues at the start. Also in the race we've got Melty and Tweetman. They're both drivers you'll see in the Triple G events. We've got Daniel Legend in second place from the Race Asylum Academy. Golf Nut Pro and Dens, who are regulars at SSBB. And in sixth Sophie, and in eighth myself, both from eTeamBRIT. But on this particular occasion it was Dom who was representing eTeamBRIT, and he just got a little bit overambitious on the cold tyres there. He's going to lose out to Sophie in the Mitsubishi. No, he just manages to keep that forward momentum going, so that's good work there by Dom. And in the background there, Tweetman with a 5-second penalty. The penalties were on strict for this race, so expect to see a lot of penalties in the race. Of course, it's towards the end of the race that really trouble begins, when the mental state of the driver begins to decline. So these early stages we often see drivers being very feisty, really throwing the cars around, getting a good feel for the track, as you just saw then with Dom. A very long lap here. Expecting lap times to make this about a 13 or 14 lap race, I'd imagine, but we will see towards the end. There was a multiplier on with the fuel, which means that fuel's going to burn off quite quickly. That's something drivers are going to have to balance out with the tyre wear. Great shot there of the Toyota bottoming out, and oh, the brakes glowing and just snatching. Oh, so it was a difficult start on those mediums, and Dom losing out early on. There's JSM from SSBB, and also in 10th now on the leaderboard you can see Yvonne, who's also an eTeamBRIT driver now. So great to see so many drivers from so many different places, and they're all driving with one thing in mind, and that's having fun, I hope. I'm sure up at the front they're not having fun, they're trying to win, but those at the back just trying to enjoy themselves. Can Dom make up some places after that instance he's just had? We are going to find out. If you look at the minimap in the top right corner, you can see there's been a clear cut now between the front runners, They Hate Melting, Daniel Legend and Golf Nut Pro, and the rest of the field. Those three just off doing their own thing. A JSM here all over the back of Dom. JSM driving the Mustang, and the Mustang seems to have gone. So good defensive drive there from Dom, and now he needs to be focusing forwards and getting off after the Aston Martin in front of him, which is a fabulous shade of yellow. And it does look as though at this stage in the race at least Dom definitely has the legs on the Aston Martin in front of him. He's catching up. Every time the shot changes, it looks as though the Toyota's closer. And while it is reasonably easy to catch up with a car on the Nordschleife, it's so difficult to pass it unless, just like that, the driver just goes straight off track. That Aston Martin has plenty of straight line speed, but so does the Toyota. It's a very quick car. The Aston Martin there planted on the inside. Dom going right around the outside. That was a great move. He was brave. He held on in there. got past. In the background there, it looks as though JSM didn't manage the same thing. He actually went onto the grass, so that's going to really slow him down. Up ahead, Tweetman still with that penalty, but Tweetman driving in the GT4 category. So you'd expect that once Dom had caught up with Tweetman, he should go straight past. But Tweetman electing to serve his penalty there. So he's scrubbed off some speed, let Dom past, and why not? They're not in a race together. And that is back up to 6th place for Dom. Can he get back to 5th where he started is the question. Got Sophie up ahead. And Sophie's not easy to catch. Sophie's a very fast driver. Looks as though at the front Daniel Legend's dropped back. It's lap 3. We're at 17, almost 18 minutes into the race. And Dom has caught up with Sophie. But as we've already said, it's not so easy to get past somebody here. We're about halfway around the lap. There's a good high-speed section coming up where perhaps Dom can make the move. It's trying to go around the outside of that GT4. He's done it. That's back to where he started, and ideally you want to be finishing where you started or higher for a good result, don't you? Behind, JSM has made his way past Tweetman, so he's on the move, and he could be trying to follow Dom through as well. But we can do some maths now, because we're at about 21.5 minutes in, and Dom has used just over half a tank of fuel, and that can give you an idea of what sort of pit strategy he's going to have to use. The tyres are looking okay-ish. Dom, they're making a very last-minute decision to just jump into the pits. What tyres have the eTeamBRIT pit crew got ready for him? We're going to find out very, very shortly. Those uniforms looking great. Good work, Lee. Here we go. Fresh tyres on and fuel going in. So he's tanking up, we'd expect this early on in the race. And that's it. So we've got racing mediums again. And Dom only electing about 77% fuel. So he's trying to keep the car light, keep an advantage in hand. He has fallen behind JSM at this point, but JSM is yet to pit. JSM's in the pit now, and he was on the soft tyres. JSM ran the fuel right down, which means he's going to have a long pit stop. And this is Dom approaching the end of his laps. So, has he been able to undercut JSM? Or have the soft tyres proven to be just too much for him? We're about to find out. Where's the exit of the pit lane? It's about at the end of this straight, I think. Is Dom going to come out ahead of JSM? I think so, yeah. So he's kept that place. And I imagine JSM will probably stick to the soft tyres if they're working for him. And we'll be seeing him again later on. Speaking of later on, this is the 36.5 minute point. With a yellow flag up ahead. Not quite sure who's in trouble, but someone's in trouble. I think Sophie's in trouble. Sophie was in trouble, and she's retired from the race. That was a technical issue Sophie retired for. So that's Dom back into 5th, back where he needs to be. The endurance continues, already at 1/3 distance. So he's doing great. What more can you say? But if you look at the mini-map, so much open road up ahead. 51 minutes in, this is the next load of tyres, and this time Dom has absolutely emptied the fuel tank, so this is going to be a long stop. The fuel doesn't go in quickly in Gran Turismo Sport. Perhaps while he's pitted, you can take time to check out the info in the description below, where you can find out more about how eTeamBRIT is helping to inspire and empower disabled sim racers. But we're off again. JSM up ahead just a little bit. But again, these two drivers are out of sync with their pit stops, so it's how it's going to look at the end that really matters. Oh, Dom pushing a little bit too hard there on these fresh tyres. The racing mediums, of course, very cold right now. Moving on, 1 hour 5 minutes. We've got JSM back in the pit. Can Dom get back in front? This is the battle for him. Oh, a little bit too hot into that corner. And here we go, heading towards the exit of the pit straight now. This is mediums versus softs, Toyota versus Ford, and it looks as though Dom's done it again. He's managed to keep the car ahead of JSM. It's great work. Doesn't look like there's much chance now of catching the top 4 because they have all scampered away for their own little battle. 3.5 minutes left in the race. Dom doing a great job, but not looking good on fuel. Ideally, he could have done with the race ending in this lap. If you look in the top right corner, you'll see JSM just behind Dom at this point on the straight. But it looks as though Dom's going to have to pit for more fuel. Is JSM going to have to pit for fuel as well? That's going to be a big decider. Here we go. Once more, it'll be a shorter stop this time because he doesn't need as much fuel, just needs 1 lap of fuel. Where's he coming out? It looks as though JSM's already through, so he didn't need to pit for fuel. Oh, that's so unlucky for Dom. If he hadn't short filled on that first stint, who knows, maybe things could have been different. Such a shame. But of course, anything can still happen up front. There could still be somebody coming off the track. By somebody, I mean JSM. I did see on the minimap there, somebody spun. That looked like Tweetman spinning. But it's the end of the race. 13 started, 12 finish. Dom is going to bring that car home in 6th. He can't get ahead of JSM now because JSM's already finished. But it was a great run, a great race. And these endurance races are very difficult. Thank you very, very much for joining us. For watching the first video I've done with Dom, so that's great. That's a bit of an honour. Pop some more videos up on the screen for you. Maybe you'd like to check them out. And if you're new around here, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you, and bye bye for now.